So, Kieran of Phoxjaw, how are you?
I'm great, and yourself?
Good, yeah, you're here at Download.
Yeah.
How's
crazy.
How's your day been?
Amazing, yeah, we just played the Dogtooth stage. It was
Yep.
a dream come true.
Yeah.
Dream come true. Yeah, I've been watching Download since I was a 5-year-old little boy.
Yeah.
And I'm in a band with my brother as well, so we watched it together with my dad. And to play here, on the same lineup as Iron Maiden and Korn and all that lot.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm imagining you've been here all weekend?
Yeah, we came up Friday, and non-stop just watched bands.
Who have you seen?
Who have we seen? Normandy, Sleep Token, Holden Absence, Loathe, Iron Maiden, as I just mentioned. Saw a bit of Kiss, but I was really tired towards the end of Kiss, so I had to dip out.
Go and sleep.
Not very rock and roll at all, but I had to sleep for a little bit. Yeah, man.
Good. So once you finish here this weekend, where are you heading off to next? What's the plan?
Well, what is the plan? We got, I think 2000 Trees is our next festival, and then we have Radar.
Yep.
And then I guess a bunch of just some tours later in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Good.
Good. Come and join in.
Come on, yeah, come on.
Yeah, jump in.
Look at that. Straight from fresh off the rocks.
Wave to the camera. Hello. How's your day been?
Oh, amazing. Yeah, it's been brilliant.
How
Yeah,
was your set?
yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was special. It's we've been going to this festival since we were kids, and it's surreal really to play It's just amazing. Just actually to hear like a lot of the lyrics from our last record as well, being sang back from a big crowd. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, good. But, they probably learnt the words because of the pandemic, and that got in the way, so you've had to do kind of promotion of things online. How much of an impact did that have on what you had planned at the time?
Well, I think it was like a bit of a lockdown album for people. Like we even did like one of the videos was like literally done on our phones, and I pieced it together just so that it could be like we could get a video out because we couldn't get together when it first, the 2020 when it first hit. So we it's been surreal, and we just watched it kind of grow and grow. We couldn't tour it, which was like quite disheartening. But I know a lot of bands are in the same position. But our debut album came out in a global pandemic, so that's something that you can't, not everyone can say. So
I think a lot of people went through a lot of shit times. I don't know if you can swear, but shit times. And they've listened to that album, and then that's kind of like a memory of bringing them up and lifting them up out of what could be a dark period for someone.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
No, for sure. But with that and having that come out in the pandemic, have you been working on music since? And you back in the studio?
Yeah, we've finished a new album that's going to come out at the end of the year, hopefully. It's absolutely crazy because even with that, we had a planned what was going to happen with it, and COVID changed that plan. Like we wanted to go and make it in Thailand, was what we were planning. So to do it. So I wrote some like really tropical sounding songs, and then that happened. It was like we recorded it in Cornwall, and then it was suddenly like the album has become this other thing now that we wouldn't ever plan. So it's like almost like this like little embryo of like this merging little like hellish creature that's like, what is this? Do you know what I mean? And it's confusing and brilliant at the same time. Like it's very strange.
Yeah, I can imagine. So how does this record sound and compare to your debut?
Different, a lot different than the first one. Yeah, it's very proggy.
It has elements of what our last album was, but it takes it on a different level. It takes it lighter, it takes it heavier, and kind of explores the areas around it.
Yeah, it's heavier and then lighter at the same time. There's like big, like kind of almost poppy songs, but then there are like a lot of prog going on. There's a lot of like a lot of chorus, a lot of like policey sounding guitars, and lots of strange. There's a lot of synths on it because I got into. Like I got a Moog Sub Fatty just before we did it, and then it just ended up like all over it. So it's like a lot of bass synths, and it's very crushing. Like because I love like the way bands like Death Grips do synths, and Racket Cannon from Belgium or another one. They just absolutely smash that, and I really wanted to bring that into Phoxjaw because it was like Royal Swan is very guitar-y. Like obviously you got Infinite Badness for synths and that kind of like The Cure, I guess, like kind of synth song, but we love. I wanted to do something. I think Charlie XCX's album was a huge one for us in lockdown as well, and we loved the like push in modern production. Whereas Royal Swan is like very vintage and analog. This is a little bit more like modern, but still heavy. Like, but that's what we want to do. Every album we want to change it up.
Was it the plan to do that, or is that simply just how it came out?
It was intentional. Like when we first started writing the songs, it was like me and Josh were pushing to do something that was more like, so we could put some bits on track as well and do like some live bits that were almost like metronomic and
a lot of
dancey.
loops and shit,
Yeah, a lot of looping. Because that's how I write. I write on the loop pedal. Like Josh is like a mastermind behind Logic. Obviously, he's a producer and obviously produces our records. But I actually write on a Boss looper, and because I feel like writing in a loop, if I sit there and have to like drag files and go like I lose the momentum for the idea. So when I'm looping, I'm caught in that moment, and there's something about the moment, and a lot of those loops actually end up staying on the album. Like the opening track to the next album starts off a really dark loop that I wrote like when I was living with my mum at the time. I wrote it like on the floor, like in my pajamas, like all fucked up, like really depressed and that. And that loop became the loop on the album. We didn't re-record it. There's some magic in that moment when it first gets created. So
a lot of it was done remotely as well, wasn't it, between you and Josh?
Yeah.
Over Zoom,
yeah.
as like everyone else was.
Yeah, we wrote on over Zoom, which is
a new experience for you guys. For sure.
It was frustrating because I had like bad internet and a bad computer, so it was just like.
That's the West Country for you.
Yeah. It was just like freezing midway through, and I was like, oh, do. And it'd be like, we were sat there like, oh, fuck, can you do this? And then I'd ring him. I'd ring him on my phone and be like, Josh, yeah, so can you do this? Change that bit there. And like, it'd be like, we ended up just like being on the phone while we were on Zoom. Because you could like screen mirror and do all that stuff. So yeah, it was a fucking different experience to what we usually do. Yeah. And next one will be different again, because that's how we stay excited about making records. Is that we just go into, we're all listening to new stuff. New stuff comes out, we find new stuff, and then we want to just make Phoxjaw just constantly changing, like metamorph into a different thing, and we'll also still be us, but we couldn't make the same album over and over.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And where can people see you after this weekend? Because people will want to see you live. Obviously, you've got 2,000 Trees, which I bet you can't wait for. But what's the plan for touring end of this year and into next year?
We've got some dates coming out at the end of the year.
Yeah, nothing announced yet.
Nothing announced.
Soon it will be.
Yeah. So.
Can't really say that much.
Yeah. So it's
UK. There'll be
UK,
stuff.
UK and
some other places.
Europe as well.
Some other places.
So. Where haven't you been before that you want to get to at some point?
Ooh, we've done one show in Germany, but Germany's a place that we've always wanted to go.
I think I'd like to get Phoxjaw into Germany a lot more, because I think the German crowd will really enjoy the music we're making. But I'm into like, I'm a traveller, you know. Like I'd like to go and play strange places. I'd like to go to Mexico and play I'd love to go to Australia as well, because we've got a huge fan base in Australia.
Big calling that in Australia, aren't we? Like,
so just like being like that's why we wanted to do the album in Thailand, because I like the idea of taking like these 4 little blokes from Bristol that have started in this little shed, and to be able to take us across the world and make something like, I want to make an Arctic album as well. I want to go up like into the north, like Scandinavia, like up in Finland or Iceland, and do like something like really cold, and yeah, like, so it's, I don't know, if we can travel, we will. Any way we can, do you know what I mean? So.
Excellent. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for
having a chat
us.
with you.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.